Hi, welcome to another podcast this morning. It's Sunday, April 26, 2015. I got a couple of things to discuss here. I'm just going to say the opinions here are the opinions solely of myself. I have similar opinions of a lot of people, but they're all different, also alike. I mean, in the same sense. So there's a lot of things we think alike, all alike, but just like DNA and fingerprints, everybody has, I believe, just a little bit different specific dialogue for the way that their opinions operate. So, with that being said, this is solely the opinion of me, uh, not anybody else, not YouTube or anything like that. So, we're going to talk about the Bush tax cuts and know everything about it. Um, I was a pretty good, you say, kind of a guru guy for George Bush, the second one, the son, two term president Bush. Um, so, anyways, we'll talk about that. But right now, I want to hit down on a touchy subject, slavery. So I want to know, how come people want to act and get off saying, instead of being with everybody else, to work towards making everybody's lives better and America better? Because I believe, if I'll say it again, if America is working at its best, the world can operate at its best. Other countries get that, and it helps world works good significantly when America. So anything, if the world's upside down, you get the right president in there, which I believe. I'll show you why. Again, I think I'm a good candidate for that. But if you had the right person in there and the world's returning the way that's supposed to here, that a lot of the things going on in the world that are chaotic will slow down just from that, just from having a good president. So I don't mean to keep calling uh, the guy a douchebag or anything, but people who talk smack about America can understand, and they might try and argue at this point, but it's too obvious that that's why they're doing the things that they do and keeping our economy down and trying to ruin it. Even is because they hate us, and that goes into the slavery thing. So they've got people kind of brainwashed, in my opinion, over something that happened such a long time ago, that the people that are related to the people that came here, uh, that were forced into slavery here, the Africans, that they don't even, unless they went and truly studied the stuff and were a slave themselves, they wouldn't really be able to feel it. And there's slaves still today, African slaves still today in the Middle East. So I don't understand why they're so hateful. They hate people and they hate on, oh, white people, this and that. And I've got another point, that there's been a lot of time here, and anytime that a culture or whatever type of people hasn't been killed off blatantly, they were forced into some kind of slavery. They had to do something for the other people if they lost. The whole entire time in the earth, how long do you think the earth has been spinning around here with people on it? So the past uh, 600 years or so, they've been doing this with African Americans. We call them African Americans, and European Africans. I don't know how they say it over there, but that's where they started first. And also, Africans were turned in by their own people. In my opinion, I think they're white somebody we know today who's very popular. I don't want to say his name ever again in my life. If somebody asks me who he is, I'll be like, who? Who is that? I won't ever acknowledge ever knowing the person. I won't ever say their name because I won't ever give them any steam by saying their name ever again. But other black people turn black people in to your white Europeaners. You know, I'm from Irish descent, Julio's, and American Indian. The American Indian on my wall, Cherokee Indian. So, I have a lot of Indian blood that only shows in the features, like on my nose and stuff like that, not in my skin. The Irish took over on that part. But anyways, so we got people either hating for what happened or maybe they're trying to get even with people. So they look at America, they want to get even with America. So that's all I'm saying. When they hate that and you vote for somebody like say for the president and they're like that, they're going to be doing a lot of things for other people and not for us in particular. So if I could, I'd like to jump right into the Bush tax cuts. So up to this point, I don't expect to see any Republican president or a Democrat president do what I believe should have been an extension of the design for the Bush tax cuts. Because up to this point, you can tell who all of the swindlers are, who screwed over the public. So Bush gave all these companies time. He gave them like 10 years. So there's 10 years of recorded evidence from everywhere, the State Department, the IRS, to the White House, maybe even, where they know exactly who all of the billionaires, all of the rich people who were given incentive to take their businesses to a greater level, put technology in there, hire some people, more people to work. This is what the tax cuts were for. It was either for to make our products better or both, or for hiring more people. And it was supposed to come back to where they could pay, uh, they're going to come back and gladly, more than gladly pay after 8 or 10 years or however long that was for the cuts that they had. But it also shows in the economy that anybody can do the research on their own. It would be great if they did on the economy that when the government gave people tax breaks the most, when they did it right in the past, say right after the Depression, you can look at as a model right after the Depression how they started people. I think it might have been Eisenhower, maybe, that was doing that. He was giving people cuts and getting people back to work and pumping the society by that creation flow. So it's a creation flow that these people put in there. George Bush is not an evil person. He was very smart. He obviously hired the right people around him for his staff that had great ideas. Dick Cheney and people talk a lot of smack about the man, but I'm a big avid fan of Dick Cheney. I think he is a architect, genius, more more so than Karl Rove probably ever could had ever become. Dick Cheney. I mean, Dick Cheney for real. He's not an evil monster. I wouldn't believe half the stuff they would say about some people is going to be to get you off sidetrack and then get you hating, to get you to hate America until um, they get in there, and then if they do the wrong things, it's okay, you know. But I don't want to talk about too much. I just want to talk about not about what they did, but I think that a good candidate would tell people what he's going to do, and he's going to be upfront with people. And so the more he tells people this, the more they can come to understand that he's being very utmost truthful to them, and that he's not lying, he's not a backstabber. And I'm the type of person that if somebody calls me out, I'll invite them to the ring to fight. So I'm just, it's not being fed up with people. It's just, people have to know that sometimes their mouth goes a little bit too far. Maybe me, maybe I have, but all I can say is I'm prepared every moment. Every moment I'm prepared. That's all I can really say. For an exchange of words or fists or whatever, I'm ready every single minute, every second. I'm ready. So the Bush tax cuts were an incentive for society. So up to this point now, if I were the president and I went in there and became president, one thing I would also do is I would go and I would look at all of the rich people that he gave that tax cut to, and you could tell by right now up to this point, it's gonna be a good video. It's gonna be good. Um, up to this point, who cheated us? So it's really for us because the jobs are for us. Everything that we buy is for us. Our society is for us, really. And put it in your mind, it's not the government or anybody, or any persons or king, but we have to go out there and do our own things out there. Some of us become more successful than others, but I'm telling you, there's a way that you can go out there and maybe label the ones that cheated but did not see, because there's some that took the money instead of uh, bettering the product or um, taking the incentive for what it was for, because it's for real business people, people who have a business mind and who are good at it. Would have took that money and they would have invested in their stuff. You know what I mean? So um, all I can say is up to this point, if I ever become president, that is definitely one of the things I'd have to make a list and not hope not to get sidetracked or whatever. But anyhow, so I'd like to hear some people's thoughts. I know this is kind of early again, but it was really on my mind, and I really kind of wanted to know if uh, if I could get any feedback. That'd be great. Thanks.